Welcome back, guys. We are looking today at the indicator stalk, which I'm just going to show you here, turn signal, whatever you want to call it, and just a couple of little bits and pieces about it. So looking at the mechanism, the way it works, you can see, if I film in there, when I turn the indicator on, that little pin turns on or sticks out, comes back to neutral or cancelled, and then pin comes out again. And then there's actually a little ring which mounts to the bottom of the steering wheel, and that rides around inside there, and it actually taps against the that pin that sticks out, and that's what cancels your turn signal. Now, a couple of people have been asking, is it okay to mount it on this side? And really, you want to have it on the opposite side, mounted under the steering wheel, and I'll just show you that now. My personal preference, I know a lot of people do put the turn signal on this side. I find it's kind of in the way of the gear stick. You know, for us, obviously with a right-hand drive car, your left hand is always on the gear stick over here, and you really don't want your indicator stalk sitting right there because it's just too close. So I flip it over to this side, and I think a lot of other people over here do as well. But obviously that's personal preference. So I'll just show you the ring. I've got it on the steering wheel over here, and here it is here. That's the ring there, and it obviously gets bolted in position with three tiny little screws, and these ones you don't want to lose because they're hard to get, and you want to put those in. I think I've got a couple of spare ones there, but you can see, being a three mounted hole, you can rotate this over to that position there like so, or you can rotate it around to that position like that, so it puts it in different positions. So for my application in the car here, I'm going to mount it that way, so that this ring will be on the opposite side to the mechanism once the steering wheel's turned up. So anyway, we'll just do that right now, and I'll show you how it all goes back in together. Okay, so we've got the steering wheel. What we're going to do, we need to do a couple of things before we mount it. Just hop in here. We have the little keyway, and that little keyway has to go into the side of the shaft. So we'll actually mount that first. Get myself in a decent position here. So there's a little spring, and this might be a little bit tricky because I don't actually have a seat to sit on. So I'm going to try and do it, get that out of the way. So if we can get the keyway into his spot, you've got to kind of push down the spring and then get the keyway in position. And it's got to go in level. And if it doesn't go in level, we'll just do a test fit here and make sure it does actually fit. And it orientates just like, flip it around, might be better, just like that. You can see that there. And then obviously the steering column slides over the top of that. So we'll just pop the spring over the top, like so. And now we're ready to put on the steering. Now, what I might need to do here is just adjust this guy a little bit lower, and then we'll bring him back up high when we need to. So we'll just drop him down lower. That's it. Now we can put on the steering wheel, and it's going to go in that orientation. It's going to be a bit cockeyed because I haven't got the steering adjusted yet. So what we're going to do here is come over the top, make sure we're lined up with that keyway, sure that where's that little keyway there? I think we were on it. Yeah, we were on it. Okay, like so. Then we can actually pop on the nut here just to bring this down slightly. Okay, just make sure that that's all good. Now I have to obviously adjust the length of this cable for the horn, so I've just left it long. I'll trim that later once I put the horn on. That's now ready to actually I might have to trim it now because I'm not going to be able to get the socket over the top of it, I don't think. It'll be probably too, yeah, that's not going to work, so I'll have to just trim it down now. I'll take it down to about there, will be fine. Like so. Then I can get this guy on. Start tightening her down. So that's obviously where we're going to be. Now I can actually bring up the turn signal unit so that it goes in position where it has to be, and that's right there. And then I can tighten her up here, like so. Tighten up the other side. Get to that. Always a bit of a contorted mess in here when you haven't got a seat. Alright, so that's looking good. I will go and get the horn. Righto guys, so you can see I've put the horn button in its position, just clipped it in. Just be mindful when you actually put it in that you've taken the paint off the inside of the steering wheel, so it makes contact with that spring. Otherwise your horn button won't work. So that's just one thing to test out. But she's clipped in, looks pretty good, you know, considering it was an old wheel. And I'll just show you how the how it works now. You put your indicator on and turn your wheel. Once you turn it back again, it cancels out. Same with going up to the left. You hear that little click, comes back, and we're all good. So that's how it works. Amount of play in the steering. This isn't actually hooked up underneath because I did discover yesterday there was about this much slop in the steering wheel. So 1.5 inches, probably 2.5 inches, I reckon, of play. And I was thinking, whoa, hang on, that's not right. The ball joints underneath are all new. The beam pin brass shims bushes have been reamed, so that's all good. And so I couldn't work out why I was getting so much play. And of course the steering box itself was in good nick too. And what I discovered when I put the bus up on the hoist and had my trusty little son helper to help, this guy here was no good. So the drag link bar, there was actually slop. This ball joint here was fine, but this one here had a heap of play in it. So that obviously has to come out, and I've got to buy a new one of those to eliminate that slop. You really only want to have, I reckon, 1 inch, you know, going back to the wheel here, and I reckon that much play is acceptable. I think any more than that, and you've got to start tracking down what's going on underneath, which can be difficult, but you really don't want to have more than, I reckon, that much movement. I'm going to put a rack and pinion conversion in our ute that we have, just because it has a bit more play than that, and it's just not that comfortable to drive. So I'm going to do a rack and pinion conversion, and yeah, we'll see how we go with that. That'll be another video on how to go and install it and put it in. But all in all, in the cabin here now, we are pretty much done. Everything works. Only thing that doesn't work is the fuel gauge. So I've got to order a new sender unit. I did take it out of the tank, and it's no good. So I've got a new sender unit on the way to put in. And apart from that, everything else inside here is good. Waiting on the seats, door cards. Next, we're going to start working on those, getting those in cut out and upholstered, covered. Just waiting for some glue and other bits and pieces. It's kind of hard here with lockdown. We can't go anywhere, so I've got to wait for things to be shipped, and they're just seemingly taking ages to get here. I've been waiting for some contact adhesive glue for about 2.5 weeks now, which is doing my head in, but anyway, that's what happens. Yeah, so apart from that, that's about as much as we can do in the cabin. Just sort of happy everything has gone together, and we will continue. I will talk to you in the next video. If you like the content, subscribe away, like, comment away. I'm learning like everybody else. You know, we're not all experts at this. You know, I only got my first bus in 2013, so you know, before then we had a beetle in the family. But you know, I'm learning and working on these things as much as I can. I will endeavour to put up some more interesting stuff once the lockdown is finished here. I'm going to be able to bring my cool projects home, and I can do some good stories on those and show you all my little mods and tricks. And there's some really interesting stuff to show you. So yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. You.